Sir, I have one question. I lost my wallet and there is a green card, so should I redeem it? So it's close to my citizen. Its time is over, so I can apply for U.S. citizen now because I have picture and the receipt U.S. sent me to. I have that proof of that,
Yeah,
and I
you.
replacement too.
Yeah. So okay. So understand correctly, you lost or misplaced your wallet, which
Yeah,
includes your resident card. So yeah, as long as you just said you have a copy of it, then you can go ahead and you're eligible timing wise, and also not just timing, but good moral character, no arrest, no crimes in the last 5 years.
yeah, nothing.
Okay. And then yeah, I would go ahead and apply N400. You can do that online. The other thing though is that you might not. Some people wonder like, what else do I need the green card for? If you can apply for residence or to be a citizen now, is that you never know when you need to travel in the future, or especially like in this situation with ICE being pretty much everywhere, you need some kind of proof, right? So
Yeah,
a photocopy might not be enough. So I would also apply for I-90, which also can be done online. I know some people might think, oh, it's like potentially like a waste of money, but it's better safe than sorry, right? These days under Trump. So to show that at least you have the I-90 in process.
I do
Fortunately,
have
yeah.
I-94 with me.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I do have I-94
I'm not
and
sorry. I'm not talking about
receipt.
that. I'm talking about the to renew your resident card or replace.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, you did already to
Yeah.
the I-90. Okay, good. All right, sounds good. Did that answer your question?
So if I don't have the green card, like I can apply for a citizen.
Yeah, you can still apply.
Oh, all
Hmm.
right. Thank you so much. I
Okay,
really
you're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
Thank you. Follow
Have a
for
good
more.
day.
Take care. All right, all right. So, hope you all doing well. We're live on YouTube and TikTok. Okay, exclusive on these platforms. We're not even gonna mess around with Meta. That's a okay. So, I do see a lot of questions. Thank you so much on the platforms. Please, please know, please know my ethics rules because Trump apparently is concerned. I'll talk about that in a second. But my ethics rules say that this is not legal advice. Okay, this is information purpose only. Social media. We could say this is for entertainment purpose only. I'm not gonna waste your time and dance on here, but I'll be straight with you. If you want, if you have more questions specific to your situation, I recommend you schedule a meeting. A strategy session is what we call it. Okay, and on YouTube, the link is down below. On TikTok, you go up here, follow, and there's a link. I'll show you that in a second. Okay. Now, if you have a case on file that's been pending, put the number one in the comment section. Okay. I'm kind of curious in the audience here at Green Card Guys community, how many people have a pending case? So put a number one in the comment section. I greatly appreciate it. That gives me a little better idea of the audience. Okay. And what kind of information I can share. Okay, great. So yeah, a lot of people have a pending case. Um, and put the letter D. Let's take it up a notch. Put the letter D if you think your case is delayed. Like maybe, because, I love to share processing times. Put the letter D if your case is delayed. If you think it's delayed, of course. And I'll share some insights on that as well. All right. And if you're a guest on the live, please share the live show. Then I'll be able to get you on sooner. I think Jason Boudram, you tried to join live the other day, so I will click on your name. We'll try to be live for about 30 minutes today. What's going on, Jason? How can I help you?
Hi, good day. I'd
Hello.
like to find out something. What is the time when you try to renew your green card? It takes to get your actual green card back.
How long it takes the processing time? Alrighty, let's see. When did you file your I-90?
It's actually my wife, and it's about 9 months ago. She
Okay.
had yeah,
To
she
renew
got
it?
something called
Uh
the
huh.
AD stamp. but she hasn't received the actual green card as yet.
Okay, so she's renewing it. And is this how long has she been a resident? Just curious.
She has been a resident for over 10 years.
Okay.
So
And
we want to get the actual green card and then apply for the citizen, because they say you have to get the actual picture of the green card, because her green card that she has before was her picture was like a child form. So now she want to renew it to get the new facial thing. She had done her biometrics, everything already.
okay, she did biometrics. Okay, that's good. Well, someone asked me the other day, maybe it's a similar situation for your spouse. Some people think that you have to wait to get the physical card, like the new one, and then apply to become citizen. You don't have to. You could do both at the same time. Okay. Um, so if that was a concern for your spouse.
Oh, so you don't need the actual card.
No, the actual card is really for the present time, current situation, because Trump is an asshole, the administration. So they're checking everyone, right? Their status. So that's why it's good to have right now. But in terms of becoming a citizen, you don't actually have to have the card in hand. Um, okay, so hopefully
Okay, so
is that
in
helpful?
terms of
Mhm.
so she need to file the taxes and stuff to apply for the residency. Could I get someone to co-sign on her taxes? Because what happened is we used to live in Trinidad, and
Okay.
well she's migrating back and stuff. So the salary she's working for now wouldn't make the amount that she's supposed to sponsor, because we want to sponsor our kids and me after and all. So that's the reason we want to get citizen first, and then put in for us.
Maybe I misunderstood your question, but let me read out what I think you asked. If you need to show taxes, like a certain level of income,
Yeah.
no. You could be making $0 of income and still apply to become a citizen.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
but
okay.
if you're gonna sponsor like how like
Mm.
her husband and her kids, they are under 21. She'll have to get somebody to co-sign.
Okay, now you're talking about something else. You're talking about sponsor another, like a family, right? You're sponsoring. Yeah, in that situation, you have to show income. But I thought we're talking about citizenship. So if you're not talking about citizenship, then if you're talking about residency, then yes, you have to show financial support, at least on paper. Okay.
But the better thing for her to do right now is to get the citizen to apply for citizen first before she tries to file for me and the kids.
Um. Well, so that's the third question, and that the what's better. So now we're getting track and territory. You might want to need a strategy session with our team, but yeah, it's a strategy call. Are you in the U.S. right now?
I am not in the US. She will be back she came to visit me in Trinidad, but she'll be back in the US
Uh-huh.
in within 2 weeks time. But she stays in New York City.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, she could file a petition for you as a resident, but sometimes strategy call, like if she's like right now able to become like apply to be a naturalized citizen, then sometimes it might be worth it just to wait to become a citizen and then file for you. But everyone's situation is different. And the main reason why is because like even though it's the same immigration agency who puts these processing times up together, okay, that that process the citizenship application, it's the same agency that's going to process your petition. But the thing is, they don't talk, they don't update the system for your petition when she's a
But
resident. So it's just better. Sometimes it's better to wait, especially now that she can apply to become a citizen. Like today, it sounds like.
in terms of the waiting area, waiting time to get the actual green card, what is the time usually takes to get the actual green card?
Well, okay, that's what I was trying to pull up on my screen here. Right now, it says 80% of cases that are completed within 16.5 months. So it takes a hell of a long time. Like last year, it said 24 months. So that's what I'm saying. Do not wait on the 16.5 months to apply to become a citizen. You don't have to have the green card in possession. Is it helpful? Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't apply to become a citizen now. Okay?
Okay, so do not wait.
No, don't wait. That's what I have right here on TikTok. Take action.
Uh-huh.
Okay? I have the same thing on YouTube. Okay,
Okay,
so
thanks so much.
yeah, follow for more.
Okay, then bye. Yeah, I follow you already.
All right, thanks. Thanks. Bye bye. It said Jason, but I don't know if it's that. Okay. Thank you so much for the questions. Rollo, I usually try my best to go in order, but F it. I'm going to go in the order that I see the comments that I think is more relevant, that could help the most people. Okay. So Rollo asked on TikTok, when can you file for mandamus? It's almost a year on the 290B. We do not file lawsuits on a 290B. What we do advise, and that's because even though we don't rely on the processing times, okay, to sue the government, 290, and because 290B is not even on the drop down list, which you probably know that, Rollo. You may have checked. If I click on the drop down list, it's not there. So and then most people file the 290B when they should not have. USCIS, and I can understand because the way they phrase USCIS officer whoever prepares this denial letter may have phrased it in a certain way to like make it appear like you have to file the 290B. There's another option. That's to just refile the 485 or whatever application that got denied because there's very limited scenarios, and one of the limited scenarios that we would actually file 290B is if they claimed marriage fraud. Okay, so just because there's inconsistencies in the record from the interviews, for example, or there's no medical exam, that's not a necessary reason to file a 290B. So you might not like what I say, have just shared with you, but um, maybe you've had a lawyer. Okay, I don't want to assume you didn't have a lawyer, but that's why if anyone, some of y'all that don't have a lawyer, um, put the letter put DIY. If you file on your own, I'm kind of curious how many people file their own. I'm not here to give you all a hard time, but I am here to share insights on also why you might want to consider talking to a lawyer. Put in DIY if you don't mind in the comments so I can have an idea and I can share more content, information to help you out. Okay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm not here to, we don't judge, we just listen. Okay. Let's see. Kelly Fox, thanks for your question. Does recidivist on immigration report mean that you have an order of deportation? Not exactly. What it could mean is that a person has re-entered the country more than one time, or entered the country more than one time. That's possibly what they're referring to. And sometimes, if you're referring to immigration record like FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, if you got it from there, like maybe you filed FOIA from customs or to customs, that's likely where it pull up or result from. But that doesn't, just because you got a FOIA, the first thing we would do as a law firm, review it. Second step, have a meeting with the client. Third step, after the meeting or during the meeting, we're looking at it and say like, that's wrong, that's incorrect. Believe it or not, immigration agencies sometimes put the wrong information. Go figure, right? You would think like, oh, they have all the correct information. And so that is why, folks, that's another sorry, I know there's a lot of people on the guest list. One more insight to share, then I'll invite the next person. So whoever's trying to join next, please share the live show. That lets me know. Okay, Woody's on deck, okay? So for anyone that's curious if you should register in this app to self-deport. Of course, Trump administration may have access to obviously YouTube and all that. But look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'll tell you what I would not do if I were an immigrant. If I didn't have legal status, I'll tell you that I would not register into the app. Look, if you're eligible to apply for some kind of immigration benefit, like to become a resident or to get non-immigrant visa status or to become a U.S. citizen, you're going to be sharing information anyway. So just apply for that. But why proactively apply, register for something to self-deport? That doesn't make sense to me. But some of y'all have been concerned about that. Some of y'all thought about it. I'm gonna tell you what I would not do. I would not register. Okay. All right. So let's get Woody on. Okay. Maybe I took so long. Okay, there we go. Let's try again. Processing. Hey, what's going on, Woody? How can I help you? Hello, Woody.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking my question.
Sure.
So my mom has been a permanent resident for over 20 years, and she's currently 67. I just wanted to confirm, as if she wants to apply for a citizenship, she can. She's able to get the reduced number of questions and be able to be interviewed or maybe get assistance with her own native language. Is that accurate?
It's what kind of assistance? It's like accommodations. It depends on the situation in terms of.
Like the translation accommodation.
Yes, you can. You can generally for interviews. You can get an interpreter. You can bring your own interpreter. In terms of the exemption, you said she's been a resident for 60 years.
No, for 22 years, and she's 67.
Okay, 22 years. Okay, yeah. So she meets it. There's two different qualifying situation: age over 50 years old and had a resident for 20 years, or 55 years old and 15 years resident. So either one, she meets both of them. Then you can have the civics test in her language. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so she wouldn't need an interpreter for that, but for the rest of the or before for the other part of the interviews, she would need an interpreter. So you can bring her own.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care. Uh, oh yeah, there is one more thing I do see below here on a note on the USCIS page that if you are over 65 years old and older and have been a resident for 20 years at the time of filing to become a citizen, that applicant will be given special consideration regarding the civics requirement. I think that means a little bit more leeway. So, but there is other scenarios like medical disability exceptions, disability accommodations. So anyone going through this or considering to apply for your or helping your parent or something, let us know if we can help you. There are some exceptions to help someone out. Okay, you're welcome, Woody. Follow for more. All right. Thank you so much for the shares. Looking up here. By the way, for those on YouTube, this one is a little bit outdated. It does say 16 months. It crept up to 16.5 a couple weeks ago, and now we're at 17 months for the petition immediate relative. Thanks for the shares. If someone tried to join the live show earlier and I didn't get to you in time, you're welcome to try again. I know sometimes TikTok kind of put does something with it. I don't know. Suma Rich. Suma Rich. What about after I don't know what you mean by the first part of your sentence. After 2 months pay and nothing? Are you talking about the receipt notice? That you didn't get the receipt notice or something? Are you referring to USCIS not sending the receipt notice in the mail? Um, oh, you said doing interviews? So this is a good example that maybe it might be good to just join the live show because I'm not understanding your question. What I think you're saying that some people ask is it does on average in terms of receipt notice when to receive it in the mail is about 3 weeks to 1 month. Okay, but if you're referring to Choco Flan, you can get on live if you want, and I'll try to answer. But if you're super rich, if you're referring to interviews, no, you wouldn't get an interview that quick. Not in 2 months. Okay, if this is AOS, adjustment status, and you're the beneficiary immigrants in America, anticipate it to take 12 months. I mean, a couple people here and there have been getting in less time, but no, it's not expected to be 2 months after receipt. Okay, someone asked, user here asked, is it true that when you attend a 45 interview, you get a rest? I think what you mean is, are there scenarios when someone could be arrested at the field office, USA's field office, when you have the interview? There could be. I haven't personally had a client. I have not heard of someone, even their own client specifically, who's had been detained after an interview. Now, there have been situations when we've been concerned about a person who could be picked up. Now, we have heard reports that ICE, their cars, their vehicles, literally says ICE or Immigration Customs Enforcement, that their vehicles have been outside some field offices, and not every day. I don't have like a scout, someone at the Houston field office or other locations, but I'm in some lawyer groups, and we do share information and concerns that could affect our clients positively or negatively. So but we have heard about ICE vehicles parked outside the field office. So that obviously means they could be not removing, but detaining people, arresting people at the field office. So everyone's case has a different scenario, but the one scenario that I've been more concerned about is someone who has a prior removal order. Now, someone who has a withholding of removal that was granted, whether it's last year or many years ago, that should be fine. We've had clients that had that or have that currently. And I know that in one interview, I won't name the city. I know that in one location, the officer gave my client a hard time and said, actually, it gave the US citizen a hard time. It was really weird. But they're testing everyone. They're trying to test my client who was a US citizen, that spouse, like, oh, well, basically scrutinizing how that spouse got their status and then eventually became a citizen. So they're really digging up old news. Okay. So yeah, in general, be careful out there, of course, what you hear on social media. I don't just go repost people's videos. I try to vet it, let a couple days pass through. So we gather more information about it before commenting on it. Because I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm just here to tell the truth. Okay. But when I share stories like that, I always want to provide some kind of peace of mind if possible. So, with that all being said, if people are wondering, because this is kind of similar to some of y'all's questions, if people are wondering, like, should you file? If you have not filed at all, okay, if you have not filed, but you are looking to file, you've considered it, but maybe some of y'all like, well, I don't want to file because I don't know, should I share my information? Please put the letter D for delayed. Um, D for delayed. Okay. Or put the letter M. Sorry, put the letter M for mindset. Okay. Put the letter M for mindset. If you have not filed, D or M, whatever. Let's go put the letter M if you have not filed your case, but you likely should. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Okay. And that is because, okay, I know there's a couple people on the guest list here for the live show or join a live. The thing is, in the worst case scenario that you or your loved one, your family member, your coworker gets picked up, literally picked up, detained, arrested by an ICE officer or a DEA agent, ATF agent, having authority to act like an ICE officer. Okay, when you eventually have a case in court with an immigration judge, if you have an attorney, of course, we prepare you what we need to do, et cetera, et cetera. And it's one of those things like shoulda, woulda, coulda. Especially if you're not fucking married. You gotta get married, y'all. Come on now. Like tomorrow. Tomorrow. Just go get married. Okay? If you're taking a day off, you work from home, just go get fucking married. If you're married to a US citizen or even a resident. Because I know a lot of y'all have been delaying it and delaying it. I don't know what the hell's been delaying y'all. But let me put it this way. A lot of y'all have contacted us. No, I'm still, don't worry. I'm still not here to judge. I'm here to listen and share insights. The thing is, when you're in front of an immigration judge, let's say even if the immigrant is not detained, okay, they're physically in court or something, and we let the judge know, okay, yes, our clients have been married for 20 years. The spouse is a U.S. citizen, and then we're kind of going crickets here, like in the sense that normally, if we have a petition on file pending or approved, we'll let the judge know. We'll provide a copy to the judge. But if the judge hears that you've been married for X years, even if it's 30 days, and you haven't fucking filed the application, the judge, if you couldn't sense it from me, the judge will be like, bro, what y'all been doing, man? What y'all been doing? So, look, if you're concerned about the government having information on you, I wouldn't be too concerned about that if you are eligible to obtain legal status. If you find that helpful, please tap the screen, okay? Share the live show, because when you get to the court and the judge, you respond, or your attorney responded, the judge said, oh, we're not going to apologize, but because there's likely no reason. Life happens. We get that. Everyone's busy in life. So we're not going to give a whole life of excuses, a pool full of excuses to the judge, like why did we do this, or what we tell judge as an attorney, we tell a judge our proactive steps. Judge, we're going to file. Judge, in fact, before you hire a green card, guys, we're going to have it ready to go as if we already had it mailed, okay, or filed online. Well, we're going to bring a copy to court. The judge, we have not filed this. However, we plan to file it this week. Okay. Obviously, there's other things that need to get done, like maybe a joint bank account. We're not going to share all those other details to a judge, but we're going to share the proactive steps that we plan to take. Meaning, we have all talked about it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That we have all talked about it with the client in the law firm, right? Judges love hearing that, because they don't want cases, regardless of Trump, regardless of which president. Judges don't like having cases on their docket because they have thousands of them. So the sooner a case can get resolved, dismissed, most judges actually like that, despite what you hear. Okay. Okay, we got Kelly Fox. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was a little slow. Let's see here. Thank you so much for the questions. Yeah, Travelettes. Thank you. Travelette says, thank you so much for not fear mongering, because some attorneys can be extreme. Yeah, I'm just, oh, sorry, Kelly. Let me try to re-invite you. I don't know why that happens. I can't find your name on this thing. Can you try to click on the guest list again? Or what do we call that? It won't let me do that for some reason. Okay. There you are. Accept. Yeah, it just does that randomly. Hello, Kelly Fox. What's going on?
Hi. So my question is, I've been with my daughter's father for 8, almost 9 years, and we haven't married yet. He entered the country in 2003, and he got a voluntary departure because he was caught in the country. He got a voluntary departure, and then he re-entered, and he's been here since then. And I don't know, like, I'm afraid to do anything. I'm afraid to get married. I don't know what. Now I'm super afraid. And we did get a FOIA from another lawyer. I don't know what happened with that, but it says recidivist from 2016. And I don't know what that means. Like, it doesn't say anything else but recidivist.
So thanks for that context. Now that you told me he allegedly, because of social media, allegedly re-entered the country, was 2016 around that time when he did that?
No, it was It was 2003.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so and that voluntary see, so that's I think how I responded to your question earlier was that the government might not have the accurate information. So and if it was nowhere near the border,
Well, he says it's wrong. He swears up and down that it's not
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
But
Well,
I wasn't there that time, so I don't know. But
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, well, there's still a problem, right? Because you mentioned the words voluntary departure. Voluntary departure. We would still love the opportunity to verify that in a sense, like, is it truly a voluntary departure, or is it something else that we call? It could be something similar, but essentially, do you know if because voluntary departure is a phrase that we use when it's signed by a judge, like an order.
yeah, it is signed by a judge.
Okay.
Like it's on the report, and he said that he paid for his own ticket.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I don't know what that means. But this voluntary departure was in 2003, I believe.
Okay.
So it was a long time ago.
Yeah. So there is some strategy, but it's it it likely would be a permanent bar. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
This goes into more legal advice, but sounds like a permanent bar without us looking at the paperwork. So permanent bar does not mean your spouse cannot get status in the future, but he would have to wait outside America, literally at least 10 years, and then apply.
Yeah, I figured that.
Hmm.
I just figured,
Yeah.
some of it's confusing. Like I look at that paperwork and I'm completely confused. So
Yeah, no worries. I mean, if you want more peace of mind, more solid, like a review by our team, we're happy to do it. We
yeah,
do
absolutely.
charge a little bit, but sometimes a
Sure,
little
no
more
problem.
peace of mind can help.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Kelly. Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, so yeah, so everyone has a different situation. Of course, I'm just messing with y'all. Like, how come you didn't get married? But like, let's say in Kelly's situation, like there was for her spouse, there was no voluntary departure. Okay. Um, well, still, even if there was an option, but something happened in the past, like, well, I don't know if I should do anything, but you still may want to consider to get married because in the crappy situation, or hopefully this doesn't happen to anyone, but it's bound to happen to a few of y'all. Unfortunately, if you get picked up by ICE, that you are married already, because that's one less logistical thing to do if someone has expedited removal and sent straight back to their country without having a court date. Of course, hopefully there's a court date, but again, everyone's situation is different. So there's a lot of things, a lot of news on social media, and of course, again, I try to only share things that is accurate. Not saying it didn't happen, but there's probably more facts not shared. Like, of course, that video that went viral by the auntie. I think I reviewed part. I did watch part two of her video, but I just feel like there's something additional. Again, not saying it didn't happen, that her niece didn't get put back on a plane, but yeah, in general, there still are scenarios where customs or ICE are doing things that they should not be doing. Certainly, that is true. Um, but yeah, and it's okay. All right. There's a few people on the live show guest list. If you can share the channel, then that helps you know who to pick next. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for your questions. Real quick, as we look through these questions. Okay, what are processing times for 601A? Let me check that out for you. 601A, because I do have that here, but it might be a little bit outdated. Let's see. No, not that one. No. Okay, that's the old one. I guess it's missing. 38 months. Mama Siha, thank you so much for checking that. Let's see what I got here. Oh, they're slow on my thing. Ridiculous amount of time. So hey, good news for one of my clients. It was a waiver. This is some glitch right now. I clicked the drop down menu, it doesn't even show anything. Okay, so we'll go with Mama say Siha's what she wrote, 38 months. That does sound accurate. Um, we just good news to some extent. One of our clients got the waiver approved last week, and I looked up how long it took. It was a little bit under 3 years. So hopefully that's good news to you. I did see another lawyer post about one of his clients. Of course, when lawyers share stories, they don't share names and confidential information. But one lawyer shared that they filed last month or got it approved in 1 month. But that's a new case. So I do think that's a fluke, though. Um, Anyways, let's get the next person on. Okay, we got Maria Christina, then on deck is Endurance, and after that is Choco Flan. If you do want to get my attention, it is best to share the live show. Hey, what's going on, Maria?
Hey, attorney, good morning or good afternoon.
Hello, hello.
So I have a quick question about the I 864 part because I'm trying to fill that out as I'm on NC stage and on the part of part six, let me just double check here. And I'm kind of confused on that part. Is it like my my employee or that is because I'm trying to add my co-insurance sponsor.
Okay, well let me on YouTube share my screen. I'm pulling up the I've opened. Now, of course, depending on the situation, I might not be able to answer directly for you, but we'll see. Let's go around. Let's see. I'm pulling up the form right now. Which page number is it?
Part six.
Part 6. Okay, that looks to be about page number 5.
The
Unemployment.
sponsor employment and income.
Okay, your income. So what's the situation so I can understand better?
So because currently, sir, as I mentioned last time, I'm currently unemployed and still looking for a job and I'm not sure if my income will be sufficient enough to support my husband and I have already it on my mind for Kojak sponsor who is um
So you're
and
unemployed right now?
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you'll likely need a joint sponsor, but usually when we evaluate this for clients, we look to see if there's any assets, like maybe you have own a home. Do you
Uh-huh.
or like your checking account, if there's enough money to overcome it. But do you even though you're unemployed, like formally, do you have any? Are you earning income in any way?
So I'm just doing side line now, just the 1099, but I'm
Mhm.
not sure if that will be sufficient still.
Um, okay. Do you have kids in your home?
No,
Okay. So
not yet.
the reason I ask, 'cause I know it sounds like a weird question to ask. Again, this is normally what we do with clients, but you do want to look up the A64P. Have you the website, the minimum poverty guidelines? Have you looked at that before?
Mhm. I'm looking at it because I have like inquired to a different, but they give me a different answer. So I just wanted to
Uh huh.
um
Who gave
to
you a different answer? Your lawyer?
um no, like on the live, like a lawyer, yeah,
Oh, like me.
immigration on the live,
Oh, okay.
but they're not. I'm not sure if they are. I'm not sure if they are like giving exact information.
Oh, okay. So I
They are
do.
not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
they
do want
are
to be
not.
careful because even if I
Mhm,
could say something wrong on accident, and that's because like I don't have all the information I need, and anything
mhm,
related to this form 864,
mhm,
aside from the actual immigration form, like what I think you're asking me is like, do you meet the requirements? And we probably have at least 10 questions to ask. So that's why
mhm,
even if you if you have not, whether you have filed it or you got an RFE for this, I do recommend you can. Do you have a lawyer? Like you hired one?
No, no.
Not yet. Okay. Does your spouse work? Even though it sounds like your spouse is outside America. You just wait. Is your
No,
spouse outside America or here in America?
outside.
Okay. So, hmm. Okay. For anyone in a similar situation, even if it's not about A64, but if you're like, man, I really need a lawyer, but for this, just for this one thing, it's like that one question. Obviously, lawyers will say there's always more questions than the one, but
Mhm.
or my answer, even if your question's quick, my answer is longer, obviously, right? But
Mhm.
if you have that kind of situation, put in the word help because I need to try to find something more cost effective for that one scenario for y'all. And so for you, Maria Christina, I feel like that is at least for your situation because you say you don't have income. I don't. Is your spouse working?
Yeah. So he's in the Philippines.
Hmm.
Work. But he's doing like motor taxi. And I'm not sure if that is like a citizen job. But he's doing that
Oh,
racket.
okay. Well, I mean, his income is not relevant to this situation, the A64. Um, you don't need to fill out the because your husband. You said your husband's outside America in the Philippines. You don't even need to fill out the 864 right now. That's going to be later on. Did you file the
Mhm.
I-130?
Yeah, I
You guys
already
started
got
on that?
my I-130 is already approved, and
Oh
now
yeah, you're
I'm
at the NVC stage right now. Okay, so
yeah.
this is the time to fill out and upload it. Okay, so so if it's just you and your spouse and there's no kids like in your home, maybe they're older, you didn't have
Mhm.
kids, so it's a household size of two. So if you're not active duty in the U.S. military, which I assume not, then
My,
mhm.
my brother-in-law is an active military, and I'm
Oh
also
okay,
like trying to like add for
uh-huh. Um, okay, so maybe is you said brother active duty military?
brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law in the U.S. military?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like U.S. Air Force.
Okay. Well, when you get a chance, please thank him for our service. For his service, of course, not our service. His service. Please
Mhm.
thank him. So, and I asked that because duty military, the income amount to show is lower.
Mhm.
So, for those on YouTube, you can see it. For a household size of two, for people in active duty, it's 21,150. If it's like for everyone else, non-military, then it's 26,437. So even though you're retired, it still has some kind of dollar amount here. Um, if it's not through your assets, like you own a home or something, do you own a house?
No, I live with my because I live with my sister and my brother-in-law.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, you're just gonna need a joint sponsor. That'll just cut to the chase. Or even if
Mhm.
your checking account doesn't have 26,437, then you're gonna
Yeah.
need a what do you call
And
it?
by instance, because I also have my aunt. She's also the one we because I'm currently in Nevada, and we will live to Maryland in our in my aunt's house. Can I also add her if in case?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand. You said your aunt?
Yeah, yeah. So so we will live with her once my husband will be here, and I'm just wondering if I can add her as my co-gen sponsor.
Co-sponsor. It can be anyone. So
Uh-huh.
it could be like a stranger, someone at church, someone at your place of worship. It could be a neighbor. It doesn't have to be a family member. And if it is a family member, it doesn't have to be the one that you're going to live with in the future.
Mhm.
So it could be your
Mhm.
brother-in-law too.
Mhm. But
Whoever.
how many is the maximum, sir? Because I'm thinking like three, but some I read it's up to like maximum of two.
What's maximum two? Then household size?
Um, yeah, for the whole joint.
Okay. So I it sounds like we're getting a little off track here. Um, I know there's a lot of questions related to this, so I hate to say it, but if you have more related to this, you should
Mm-hmm.
schedule a session with us.
Uh-huh.
Um, this TikTok live show is really to just share some insights
Mm-hmm.
briefly,
Uh-huh.
and I have to answer other people's questions. So
Okay, yes, sir. I got you.
yeah,
But I understand your answers about my other question.
yeah,
But thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, Maria, good luck to you. Follow for
Thank
more.
you.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like telling people to hire a lawyer, right? I think that hopefully should be obvious, but especially these days with President Trump administration, their immigrant policies, they're not messing around. Okay, so if you want peace of mind, if you want, like for example, we have a client tomorrow that has an interview. I have more advice I want to give to them, so I'm going to record a video for them um, because we've had some interviews recently. So there's just additional advice we want to give. So y'all, that's like I guess you could say, intangible benefit of having a law firm. That's us at Green Card Guys. Will another law firm do that? I don't know. Maybe not. But we're very intentional to serve our clients in the best interest. Okay, keep y'all updated. Someone asked if yeah, Carmelia. Yeah, they don't USCIS hotline. They don't. It doesn't seem like the USCIS hotline if they answer the phone because initially you're going to talk to a bot. Okay, and you got to get through the bot, and that's kind of difficult. We always like immigration lawyers say like, what's the key word today? The magic words to get through. How do you report marriage fraud? So this channel is to help people get legal status, but if everyone's different, but I can say especially because I'm on a board of a nonprofit, board advisor on a nonprofit here in Houston for domestic violence survivors. So I understand sometimes you got to report your ex Pookie Bear. So to do that, you just go to ice.gov. That's the only info I can give you. I will record a video about like if you can travel outside America or not. It's a lot to go through, so that will be a separate video. So stay tuned for that. Go ahead and follow and like if you haven't. Or follow and click the bell if you haven't done so already. Let's see. Okay. Next thing. Endurance. That's right. Thank you. All right. Endurance is processing in. What's going on?
Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for your patience. How can I help you?
No problem. Thank you. So I have a question. I'm currently living in the United States. I'm in New York. I came here on an H-1B visa. My visa is supposed to expire in December, I think. I wanted to see if there was something else I could do. I don't know if my employer is going to renew it, but the thing is that I have twins. I gave birth to twins last year. I gave
Congrats.
up everything home to come here. So going
Oh.
back would be very hard for me. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
know if and also with my visa and my employer, I only work 3 days in a week. And financially, myself and these little kids is very difficult. So I wanted to know if there was literally something I could do. And if there is, then I need a lawyer.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you for sharing. Well, I hear your baby right now. Congrats on your twins.
Thank you.
All right, I have two kids, but not twins. That's already a lot of trouble. So 3 days. Okay, you're working 3 days a week. Are you still on the H-1B? Like you're still working for the same company?
Yes, I'm still on the H-1B.
Okay. December. So it's almost April. Have you talked to HR about getting it renewed? Start the process.
So what my company hired a lot of H-1Bs for my country, and
Mm.
what they told us is that they will renew it, but there's been a certain people whose time were up and it wasn't renewed. So I just wanna I just wanna get myself prepared. If they renew it, that's great. But if they don't, I wanna have something in place.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. That sounds effed up, but thank you for sharing. So here's the legal framework. Okay, is that good thing you're asking me this question now? So you have a few months before it expires, but you want to go ahead and maybe start applying to new jobs. Okay,
Okay.
and what's your degree? Like your degree is related to your job, of course, right?
Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree in sociology and psychology
Okay,
and political studies.
okay. So generally the company you try to get a job with can be in any industry as long as your job is related to your degree. So I would go ahead and start because you can what we call it porting, porting, basically meaning change employers. But you want to preferably do that. You're gonna do that before your visa expires. Okay, so
Okay, and I was told that I have to spend 5 years plus or more before I apply for a green card. I just wanted to know if that is true.
no, who told you that? They lied to you on purpose, probably.
Yeah, literally, like all of us who came here, we were told, "Oh, you have
No,
to
no,
spend
no.
5+
Yeah,
years before we can put in for a green card for you."
that's a sounds like a horrible company policy. So yeah, you definitely want to work for a company that is willing to get it started sooner than later. In fact, when we have clients who are companies, after we get the H-1B secured, then we start talking to them. Hey, you want to have a game plan, company, on when to sponsor this person for residency because that also takes a long time.
Okay, so
So
even though I've been here almost 3 years, I could start applying for a green card.
yeah, you could have.
Awesome.
Yeah, you could have.
Wow.
But it's not on you. It is the company, right? It's maybe their own company policy, but it is on you to at least start the conversation. Like, but yeah, focus on the H-1B first, so you're at least settled on that, and then like, hey, by the way, especially when they get and understand your work ethic, right? They don't.
Yeah.
It's costly. It's a costly expense. I hate to call it expense, but
what if
costly
they don't
cost.
want to sponsor me when it comes to the green card, but I want to do it myself?
So there's something called national interest waiver. It does not require a company sponsor, but it's a very, as you could probably imagine, it's a very high standard. You have to have what I call like a stacked resume. And it's not just that. I mean, you have to, the short answer here, explanation is you have to show why it's in the USA's interest to waive the typical steps of the process that a company
Okay.
normally has to go through. But we have a complimentary guide if you email us, which it would be up here on the link. There's the little email icon. You could just ask for the free NIW guide. My team will
Okay,
email
okay,
it to you.
no problem. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a
Michelle,
nice day.
thank you too. All right. Let's see. Well, happy to answer questions about mandamus cases if your case is delayed, but also for employer side, just like Endurance asked, because it truly is an endurance for the immigration journey. Okay, and unfortunately, some employers, some companies do y'all wrong. Did you hear what Endurance just said? That is effed up. They said they can't sponsor that. I guess they phrased it like the U.S. government doesn't allow it until X time. She said 5 years. As soon as a client gets H-1B or some non-immigrant status, and our technically the companies are client, we'll advise them that hey, it's actually better to get this other part done faster because it's a hell of a long process. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and mention real quick. I think Choco Flun's next. There are several people on the guest list. Thank you so much for your trust. If you share the live show on TikTok, I don't know how y'all can do it on YouTube, but if you share it on TikTok, I can see that and I'll get you on deck. Okay. Let's see here. So I see Miss E shared it. I don't know if you had a question, but thank you for sharing. What else did I want to share? Okay. I know people put like DIY. I did ask or the letter D if you filed it yourself, or the letter M if you haven't filed yet. Okay. And y'all in no situation. You filed yourself or you haven't filed yet, and you're thinking like, well, I don't think I need a lawyer. I don't think so. Well, hopefully you don't. Hopefully you don't. But there are some scenarios that you should hire an attorney. Okay. Of course, if I could recommend it like from the beginning, yes, I recommend you have an attorney from the beginning. Because here at Green Card Guys, we give a shit about your legal status, so we get it done the right way, okay? From the very beginning. Because some of y'all here on the live show, because someone else fucked up your case, and it could have been you or your uncle or your auntie, or some other lawyer or some other notario, immigration consultant. And I feel bad for y'all. But at the end of the day, is buyer beware. So if you are interested in our services, check out our Google reviews. We're 4.999 stars. I can't make everyone happy. We really try our best. Okay. So I know some people put those letters earlier. So the way to contact us, well, first you can either schedule a strategy session with an attorney. Okay, that does come with 3 digits. That's not listed here. If you are interested in our service, you read our Google reviews. Then here during the live show, I should have mentioned this earlier because wrapping up the live show now. It is this amount, less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Okay, if you're on TikTok, you're wondering what I'm pointing at. It's because on TikTok I can share my screen like this, which I guess for y'all on YouTube, that'd be down here. Okay. Hey Loyal, good to see you. Hey Irene, if you're still on, can you travel EAD? Can you travel employment? Oh, domestic. Can you travel domestically with the EAD card? That's no 766 is something else. That could be. I think 766 is referring to a list of documents. Let me see here. That when you say like TSA. I 766. Let's check it out. Okay, the I-766 is the work permit. I think they're referring to like proof of identification in that sense. And so, yeah, you might be wondering why it's 766 versus 765. 765 is the application form, but on the actual card is 766. Like the green card, which is really mostly blue now, it's I-551. I don't know why they do that, but it's from a long time ago. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Thanks for the follows. Really appreciate that. I know there's several of y'all. Okay, Chocofly, I'm finally getting to you. And then on deck is Eli. Thanks for your patience, everyone. What's going on,
Hello.
Choco? How can I help you?
Hi. Okay, so I have 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer the first one, just
Okay.
because it's not really related so much to the status. But it's more about what are your thoughts or your opinion about the IRS giving Homeland Security information? Because I've been seeing that a lot on TikTok with other attorneys. And with that said, do you feel like it would be important for them to equip themselves with an attorney, with an immigration attorney, if this were to go through and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know if it's official. I did read about it briefly a couple weeks ago, I believe it was. But I get the sense that it's mostly, it could be a number of reasons, but mostly for USCIS to see if someone had somehow, I don't know how they can get it, but somehow on like the I-9, when you apply for a job, it asks about if you're a resident, national of, US or a citizen of US. If you check mark US citizen, then technically that's false claim to be US citizen. So that could be one reason. But if a person had been like filing taxes, nothing's wrong, telling the truth about everything, then there's nothing to worry about in that sense.
Like even if it's like an I-10 number, correct?
Yeah, even I
Did that
use
process
I-10.
correctly and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't think there's really too much to worry about as of right now with that?
So far, I don't think so. I mean, I don't. The thing is, USCIS is strapped. They need. They're what do you call it? Like what do you call it? Like startups use the word bootstrapped. Like they're going to start bootstrapping because people are losing jobs. It's sad to see in the federal government, right? So I don't think there's going to be a lot of like probably the initial concern that people had, like, oh, I filed a tax return, but I don't even have a sponsor. I don't want them to have my info. I don't think it's that concerned. I think they're gonna like see an application come through for like green card, and they're gonna want to cross reference. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
But I mean, I could be
So
wrong.
my second question would be, since you talk about a lot about marriage,
Mhm.
I was wondering, how do you feel about long distance relationships? And given that, I guess in my situation, I am in a long distance relationship and I've been with them for like around 5 years. I'm in the same state as them,
Oh, okay.
but we can't move in with each other or anything because of the situation. Like he's helping out his parents, and then I'm helping out my parents. So if we were to live together, then it could put hardship on the family. So that situation is not it. So I was just wondering how that works with long distances. Is it more difficult? Or judges are kind of like, that's not legit, even though there's like a lot of,
I
I
think.
guess, if they need to prove of a lot of stuff like dates when we're visiting and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think USCIS could have, not think, I know that, and they could have some concerns, right, about the long distance.
Yeah.
You don't have the same address because that's on the forms. But the thing is that there are legitimate reasons, like you said, like in your situations, truthful. And then you just have to be ready, like for that questions. And you mentioned that about each of your set of parents. But then, of course, you have to be ready for the follow up big question, like, which is stupid, right? But they're gonna ask like, well, why do you want to get married if you can't even see each other? But then that's why you have proof of like, oh, hey, officer, we do have proof that we do see each other. It's not we can't live together full time every day, but we do see each other like every other weekend or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the
Like,
concern is if you don't travel to see each other and you're in the same state. I mean, I don't know where you are, but Texas is pretty large. Then you know what I mean. So you have to have some kind of reason, like, yeah. But what state are you in? Just curious.
California.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's pretty large also. So yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps.
I was just wondering about like in general also the long distance relationships, and I know everybody would be different, but in this case it would be because we wouldn't be able to move in together due to families being put in hardships if we were to leave them. So that's pretty much the situation for that. So
Yeah, I mean, just if you do get married and you file, you don't necessarily have to provide a letter by one of or each set of parent, but you might want to have that evidence ready
right.
when you do have the interview. You don't want to scramble last second and then have, God forbid something happens to one of your parents and then they can't sign something. So like prepare the letter in advance, like ASAP, and then, but you don't have to like file it with the whole application, that package. You could, not saying don't, but so you don't have to feel stressed to have that letter like right now, in a sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, because you're likely going to have interview. Everyone is going to have an interview, so I anticipate.
All right. Well,
All
thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you, Choco. Take care. All right. Thank you, Choco, for your follow from long ago. Thanks for tuning in. I know there's a lot of you shy. You've been following the channel for a while, and I greatly appreciate it. At some point, you might feel comfortable to ask a question. Take your time, okay? Take your time. I know that you gotta feel me out. Make sure, first of all, I'm a lawyer, of course. If you are concerned if I'm a lawyer, like you like what I'm saying, but you're like, I don't know if this guy's a lawyer, it's okay. Contact us. Of course, check my Google reviews, okay? But contact us. We do love to share information, like my I go so far as to provide my bar number, provide the website where you can check if I have disciplinary action. It's very important that I share that because I want to make sure you know that we're legit. Okay, especially, I don't know, these channels, especially Meta and this one right here. It tends to be, some people love to download my videos. I don't know, they just have the time of day, download my videos and download my picture. I'm very impressed, but please make sure you're following the right channel. Other than YouTube has Green Card Guys TV, but all my social media accounts have Green Card Guys, and that's it. There's no like dot something else. There's no green card dot. I don't have green card dot something else. Like, it's Green Card Guys with a S. Okay. Next is Eli, and then on deck, Taz Andy, and then user. Hello, Eli. Or
Hi.
did I say your
Can you
name
hear me?
correctly?
Yes.
Okay, great. How can I help you?
Well, so my situation is like I've been here since 2007.
Mhm.
I entered without inspection. I have two kids. They're born here, and my partner got petition through his mom. But right now, like it's like stopped. The processing time for his adjustment of status stopped.
Mhm.
Like he was supposed to get an answer by March, and then now it's showing 2027. So I don't know if there's-
2027.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm in a okay. 2027. What application file? 485.
485. Yes.
And are you referring to 2027 because from the My USCIS account?
Yes. For the processing time.
Okay, so when you look at your online account, sorry, multitasking. When you're in the My US account, it is, I don't call it fake. It's just wrong. It's incorrect. Okay. So don't follow that. But when did your, is this for your spouse? When was that
Yeah.
application
We're
filed?
not legally married because his mom applied for him as a single kid. So
Okay.
I didn't want to mess. We don't want to mess that up.
Uh-huh.
So the petition was filed in November 2023. November 9, 2023.
November.
And
Okay.
yes,
Uh-huh.
we've been following up. And then by February, it was like 2 weeks until your answer. And now it's showing like it's outside
Yeah.
processing time, but it's showing 2027.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the online account that you log in with credentials, that's incorrect. Everyone, this might be is this your first time on the channel?
No, I've been following you for a long time. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
like
Thanks
I've
for
never
tuning in.
either I'm working or I'm doing something else.
Oh, okay, no problem.
But I'm always listening.
Oh, okay, yeah, just making sure. Okay. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, yeah, I talk about this every day that the online account, it does show something, but you're not the only one. Some people, others have, joined and said, oh, it says this, expected decision in 2 weeks. And then they change it to 18 months. It's not true that it would come in 2 weeks or 18 months. It's not accurate. So things like my picture, I don't have one for 485. I do need to add it later. But like, for example, like this, even though this is the USCIS website, this is more accurate. Can you share which, I can look online right now. You said 485. Which city is nearest for that?
It's Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, Newark, New Jersey. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, let me just check how long that's taking, but I don't think it should be as long as you've been waiting. Okay, 45. Okay, family based. And you said the mom filed for your spouse or fiance?
Yeah, the mom filed for him.
Okay, well, there's other possible legal issues with that. But the 485 is taking 80% case taking 29 months. That's crazy. 29 months. So
It was on time from last month till this month. Everything changed.
and they put in
Like
you.
there is no way to expedite something.
Well, that's the next thing I was gonna say. Assuming it was filed correctly and allowed to file, then yeah, I can see we put. I just input or his receipt date 11/29/2023, and it says, "Oh, this is frustrating." So this is. It says the earliest you could submit questions is September 27th, 2027. That's 2 years. That's 2 years from now. That's crazy, right? And it's already you filed in 2023 or your spouse. So they do this crap on purpose, meaning USCIS. They do this so they can prevent you from contacting them because especially during pandemic, they get a lot of inquiries, and so that's one reason I believe they push out how long it takes, like at least on the website. So that what I'm trying to say is that it shouldn't, in general, your spouse case shouldn't take 2 months. But if it was filed correctly and everything, we're gonna get to that in a second. But if it was, then we would file because you asked about expedite. We file a lawsuit, okay, for mandamus lawsuit is what we call it. We do in my link up here. You just click on a link, ZAP link. You click on that, scroll down. There's a complimentary guide about mandamus. Go there, you learn more information about it. I'm sure I have videos on my channel about it. But My other concern is that you said your mother-in-law filed for your spouse or your soon-to-be
Mhm.
spouse. Um, that's a family preference case, assuming he's over 21, right?
Yes, yes.
So do you know if he filed it like the timing wise correctly, the priority date and
Yes,
everything?
because he had TPS since he was brought here as a child, and his mom became U.S. citizen. Then she filed for him,
Yeah, you're not gonna like my next
and
answer.
he's
though.
never been without undocumented. He's always been under a TPS status. And he already traveled outside the country also in 2014. So once we filed everything, he had all those requirements.
He traveled. Okay, that's good. So the thing is, though, you're not gonna like this because the relationship between your mother-in-law and your son. That's what we call family preference. You acknowledge it. You seems like you understand. The TPS is good. The TPS and entering with advanced parole again, just like DACA holders, that's good. But that part only covers for like marriage cases. Like if you were the U.S. citizen sponsoring him, then that's good. You don't have he would not have to show current non-immigrant status. And I know it can be confusing. I encourage you or your fiance to have a meeting with us if you want clarity on this. But for family preference, it's kind of like a step down in a way. Think about it like that. So if he was married to a U.S. citizen, pretending you're a U.S. citizen, then that's like a step up, meaning it automatically waives the unlawful presence. Don't have to file a waiver, and since he has TPS with advanced parole, he could have the interview in America if you were a U.S. citizen filing for him. But that's not the situation. So it's a step down. Family preference. The TPS part only covers the legal entry part. It doesn't cover the part about maintaining status. TPS doesn't cover that. That's just a work permit, essentially. So he's not going to like this either. You likely, based on what you've shared so far, you likely need to file he needs to file a waiver if the petition has already been approved, which sounds like it. So need to file a waiver, and the waiver needs a qualifying relative, which would be his mom, a resident or a U.S. citizen that a mom or a parent or a spouse, which in this situation is his parent, his mom. So think of the qualifying relative as like an anchor, makes him eligible to apply for the waiver, unlawful presence waiver. So yeah, because default right now is that he would need an interview abroad outside America.
Yeah.
Which sounds like you kind of know this already a little bit.
Well, there is like we've had it on hold because this lawyer just said that we could do the adjustment of status.
Oh, okay.
But we're still renewing the consular processing.
Okay.
So we haven't closed that case yet.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I get these inquiries all the time. Unfortunately, they think like one thing like TPS traveling covers this thing. Most people have thought about that because that's the most common thing on the social media videos. Yeah, I mean, there's one time that we ended up filing for it when we should not have done it. And it's, I know like the client, some clients like, hey, I still want to file, John. Like, okay, but I told you this might happen. So, yeah, you just need to be ready for the next thing. I wouldn't necessarily wait until it's denied. You might as well, I think it's best to just be proactive to do the next thing rather than just wait for denial. Or like you might get good luck to get approved. It doesn't work like that. There's no like you just got approved just because, like good luck. It doesn't. It's either you follow the law or it didn't. You know what I mean?
So is it possible to do like a consular processing at the same time we're waiting for the I-485? Or is either or?
It depends what was written out or check marked in the I-130.
Oh, okay,
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Yeah,
you
you
for everything.
schedule a meeting, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, I just blocked someone because they got some. Thank you, Evergreen. That's what kind of threw me off. I blocked this person, but I don't know how to. Okay, I wonder if that helps. Okay, I don't see his name anymore. I don't think so. That's a bit much there. We're not trying to talk about that. We're just talking about immigration here. Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think that was part of his username. I don't even think that was a comment. So, anyways, let's get back to immigration. I know, well, dude, I did it, Oliver. And actually, TikTok accidentally semi-blocked your comment. That's weird. Got flagged. Um, KYTO. I write that down right now as I've been writing down questions so I can record videos about it. Your question was what to expect for U.S. citizens. It's some of my y'all have quick questions. I have long answers, so as you could tell. So I need to read some of these. I need to record a video and just follow and click the bell when I post the video. You get the notification. Should expect at the border when it's past 1 year. I can tell you right now, it's not good, but I'll see about a video about it already. Okay, you're welcome. Thanks for the follow from 1 year abroad. And really, so if anyone's, what I can share right now, if you do have resident status or when you do receive resident status, please put in your calendar, if you do travel, no more than 6 months. I just wouldn't play around with it. I know some people have unique circumstances, but okay, let me go back to some. Taz Andy is next, and on deck is user 5132. And then Evergreen. I'm gonna try to remember this. Then Bailey, then Arturo May, and then the letter N. Okay, okay, I'm trying to remember that order. Taz, Andy. Okay, a lot of questions about travel. Okay, it's still processing for Taz, Andy. Okay. In the meantime, real quick, if y'all are still on, thank you so much for the love. I know that Mommy Seha was trying to get us, encourage y'all to let's get to 15,000 hearts. I didn't think it was possible to help you still on a live show. Thank you so much for your trust. Even take your time to spend part of your day with us. I'm gonna try to go live every day, even if it's 30 minutes. Okay, Taz, Andy, it won't process in. Okay. Okay, so so I know some of y'all have filed your case. I know some of y'all put in a number 1 earlier to say that your case is stuck or you filed the case and maybe you feel like maybe it's delayed. Okay, here's the thing. Here is the thing. US, you can see here here, you can see it here. Here, they don't even want to tell you how long applications are supposed to take. Okay, they took it off September 2020 4. Okay. Oh, YouTube, y'all on YouTube didn't even know what I'm talking about. Let me put that back up here. Okay, here they don't even tell you how long it's taking. Okay, so if you're interested in these kind of interested to know how to take action on your case, go to my link, and YouTube is down below. Okay, or down below right there. Or if you're on TikTok, which is also down here, you click the link, click on follow, click the link, and you can scroll down for the complimentary guide. But if you're looking for a specific resource, okay, for something else. Maybe it's not about case delayed or something. Maybe it's like Maria Christina, I think is the name, earlier had about 864 financial issues of concerns. There, we have free complimentary guides about a lot of different things. Just email and ask for it, okay? And if we don't have one, we'll create one. No worries. Okay. Okay, I think now it's evergreen and then user. Okay. Hello, Evergreen.
Hello. Yeah.
How can I help you?
Yeah, I have a specific question, right? So my friend is actually a US citizen,
Mhm.
and he filed for um his wife because they married last year, right?
Uh-huh.
And they filed in October.
Uh-huh.
And luckily, she got her EAD in December.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, now they're expecting the green card and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But last month, for some reason, um, he took the wife's phone behind her and checked through her phone and saw some messages
Oh.
and felt like she was cheating on him.
Oh,
right?
shoot. They were
And,
scoping out for him.
Instead of talking about it, to know what's going on, he sent a letter to the USCIS that the wife is trying to commit. The wife committed immigration fraud and has been abusing him,
Uh-huh.
whatever, and stuff like that. I mean, they've not replied to the email.
Uh-huh.
But he found out that he was wrong. Like what he thought was true was actually false.
Uh-huh.
So he wrote a letter to that email to retract whatever he has said before.
Mhm.
However, they did not even reply the initial email. They did not also reply this particular email. So now you're looking at it that they have to because they wanted to also expedite her case because she's an F1 student and she needs to go for some conferences and some stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we don't know the complexity of this situation. What's it gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Does it have any? Is it gonna have any effect on the on the case? And we don't know.
It's possible. I mean, if they received it and they put it as part of the file, it's just safe to assume that the government, USCIS, put that letter as part of the file. Okay, so
Right.
when they have the interview, they need to be ready, right, to respond to questions like that. So these are one of those scenarios like, hey, man, things happen during relationship. It's not always easy before or even after the immigration status gets approved. So, but this is an example that someone, like I think you said your friend, it's good
Right.
to have them have a lawyer to prepare them for the interview.
Okay.
Even hire now, even if you don't have an interview date, but but they're like, damn, we effed up, or the husband's like, yeah, I effed up, so let me go ahead.
Right.
Let's go ahead and hire a lawyer to prepare in advance, because usually when we get an interview notice, they only give us like about 3 weeks. Usually, it seems so for us, when we already have a client that's been with us, we already know the situation. But if it's like completely new, it takes more time to get acclimated, understand all the facts. So that's why we recommend for anyone, just expect that there's going to be an interview,
Okay.
and in your friend's specific situation, that assume. So USS is not going to send them a letter said, thank you so much for the information. They're not going to spend time on a stamp or write a letter said, yeah, thank you, we're going to deny the case or something, because it also depends exactly what he said. Like, did he say withdraw my application or something? Who knows? But if he's just only saying I'm reporting fraud, I mean, that's not, kind of not enough. Strangely,
Okay.
you have to say he would have to have said specifically, I withdraw my petition. So if he didn't actually say that, then that could be one reason it's still open, active. Okay, hopefully those insights help.
So if he's gonna get a lawyer, I don't know. Can I recommend you guys to him?
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to help. Of course, when it comes down to it, like if they pay for our fee, I mean, for us to represent for interview, it's obviously reduced fee than the whole thing. But worst case scenario, we always tell people, even our own clients, like we could have a schedule conflict, but then it would be our responsibility to help your friend. Is like, hey, I know a lawyer here. Don't worry about their fee. We'll cover that part since you already paid us, right?
Oh,
but
okay.
so hopefully that helps. Okay.
I'll check your page for your number or with the email. so
Okay.
you can-
Right here, it's right here, or you can click on the follow and the link. But I know the 8
Oh.
is cut off. 832 is the area code. Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
I
Evergreen.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Man, y'all are so nice. You're helping out your homies, helping out your friends. But the other scenario is if you had not hired us, but you're like, bro, I'm in Beantown, you're in Boston, Massachusetts. How do you say it? Boston. You in Boston. Then and you haven't hired us already, and like you got 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes it might just be better that we just refer you someone else. Okay. I love networking with other attorneys, especially immigration lawyers, because of these scenarios. We want to help point you in the right direction, even if you're not a client. We love helping people. That's part of our mission to help you secure your legal status so you can live and work in America legally. All right. So we're wrapping up. Okay, wrapping up on a live show. So I know some of y'all said I was going to bring you on. Okay, here we are. Letter N, and then Arturo. Okay, I think that's it. Maybe one more person. Don't worry, Arturo, I got you. Okay, letter N. How's it going?
Yes, my citizen son sponsor my husband and me, and we were living in the U.S. We came here with a visa, and the problem is that my son, I just our status here, we sent everything in together, our work permit, all the doctors, everything, all the doctors' paper and everything, the medical and everything.
Mhm.
And this was since 2023, we sponsor us in August. And we live in New York and we have a lawyer here in New York. But my problem is that my husband got his green card in 2024 September, and I didn't receive mine as yet. And this is 6 months now, he received his green card. I didn't receive it. And we both got where we got the travel document, the advance parole, and we travel. But now we have to go for a wedding, and I didn't get my card as yet. And I'm just worried to travel with my advance parole.
Thank you so much for sharing. Let me trace back to see if I understand correctly that your case is still pending in general.
Yes,
Okay, and you said that you talked about your husband, so you both are together the case.
yes, everything sent in together,
Okay.
both of us.
And
He
who's a
received his
sponsor?
green
Just
my son,
oh, your son. Okay, and then
citizen son.
you're doing. It sounds like you're in America because you want to travel, right?
Yes,
So and
yes,
you entered America with a visa or
with a
parole.
holiday visa.
Perfect. So okay. So then advanced parole. Yeah, that is strange. I mean, you would think like if USA has approved your husband's advanced parole document, that they would do the same for you, like the same day.
No, I got my parole too. We both
Oh.
got parole, advance parole together. Everything came together. Now,
Okay.
when waiting on the green card, we didn't get that together. He get his.
He got approved
2024. Yes, he got approved for his green
last
card.
year.
Get it?
So, but
And I
does your
still
show
have-
pending or
Yes, it's showing pending because I mean, when I check online, I have an online account where when I check on it,
Mhm.
I don't know much about computer, but when I check on it, it's like saying, it used to say couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden it gone down to 9
Mhm.
months for
Yeah.
the I-130 and 7 months for the I-130 and 9 months. You know, and it's changing with the 485 and the I-130 keep
Uh-huh.
changing.
Yeah. So yeah, I was
What should I
mentioning.
do?
Hmm. Is this your first time on the channel, by the way?
No, I am following you very long.
Oh, thank you.
Very
So
long.
so
Very
thank
long.
you so much. Well, there's thank you for joining. So a lot of people when you check online, the one where you log in with your username and whatnot,
Yes, yes.
which by the way, sorry, I have to go back a little. You mentioned you don't know much about computer, but you're on TikTok, so that's amazing. Um, so you know more than my mom. That's good about social media. The but the you know when you go online, it's wrong information. It's messing around with people. It's not true about like, oh, expect this decision in 2 weeks, but then it changes to 18 months. None of it is true. Okay. But what we have like here's different. This is the petition only. Which city is your case?
New York,
Brooklyn or
Queens, New York.
Queens? All right, let me check it out real quick.
But my lawyer, he's in Manhattan.
Hmm.
And I put everything to go to his place because I don't want anything to get messed up. But the thing is, every time I call these girls there, they don't even answer. Sometimes when they do answer, they would tell you, one time they said they can do an inquiry, because of, and every time they keep on changing. And I want to travel in May. I want to travel on the 30th. I still have my combo card, which is the work
Yeah.
permit and the advance parole, the 512,
Uh-huh.
what it,
Yeah.
mark on the card.
Yeah. So that's good. Will it still be valid by the time May? Okay.
It's until 2028.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So that's your worst case scenario. At least you have that, but it's still frustrating that your husband got approved. And your husband's probably like,
we do everything together.
yeah, it's
And
strange.
we were thinking like we're gonna do the citizen together,
Mm.
because we are married. for
So
20 years
which month and year did you file this application? 485?
Okay, my son, we
Yeah.
filed in August 2023. That's the receipt date.
August 2023. Okay.
Yeah, I have the receipt in my pocketbook. Let me tell you.
Okay, I'm just gonna put in August
I
1st.
always admire you the way you answer people questions.
Thank
And
you.
you have, God gonna bless you. You're doing such a great job. I'm telling
Thanks. I'm just
you.
any blessings. I
yeah.
just hope God gives to my kids.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I
much.
have the receipt of the I-485 application to register the permanent residence or adjust status here.
Okay.
Yeah, they received my application on August 11, 2023.
Okay. All right. So I just input that into this little section on the bottom of this processing time page on the USCIS website. I clicked on Get Inquiry, and it says the earliest you can submit questions is November 19th, 2025. That's a long time.
Oh.
Okay. But that does not mean you cannot sue them. Okay. So even though what it says back here or my screenshots, we still can sue them now. Like it's been at least 15 months.
Let me write back what you just said. When I said the earliest I can make an inquiry.
Mm-hmm. Like call into USCIS hotline or submit inquiry online.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it says November 19th, 2025, but it could change over time.
Oh.
Yeah. So like next month you check again, it could say, December 1st, 2025. It could change. It's like some kind of puppet master doing the website. Like they could just change it whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why the worst case scenario, if you want to spend money on it, I mean, no one wants to spend extra money, but like if you have to, you can't wait any longer, then we file a lawsuit.
The thing is with my case, right? Let me tell you. First of all, my husband had a citizen mom here, and she sponsored for us since 2004. No, not 2004, 2008. And then we had to apply for the waiver. And the waiver takes so long because the pandemic came, the same year the pandemic came. We were supposed to get through the waiver, and the pandemic came and everything keep holding back. And for 4 years, and then my son, eventually he married and he got citizen, and then we let him do it. So we didn't bother. We spent so much money behind the waiver already, and seeing the doctor and everything and get all that set up. And then we have to forget about that. And then my son applied and so my question is, can I travel with that 512, 512?
Yeah, the Advance Pro, your combo card.
With the card, yes, the combo card.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, you
did
can.
4 times already. I traveled.
Yeah, you did it 4 times already. Yeah, that's one of those. I hate to say, but like even if someone has resident status, but has a crime, some people are like,
I don't have any.
Yeah, you don't have any crimes. It's good. But even people who Yeah, even the people who did have a crime before or arrest or something, and they're like, I've traveled 20 times, but so I shouldn't have an issue this time. Well, I mean, if you didn't talk to a lawyer before about it, then you could get messed up, get sent to immigration
But
court.
actually,
But for you,
I
it's different. So
yeah, actually sent my lawyer an email, and he emailed me back and saying that how he don't see why I should not travel. But I don't know, but I feel that he should do something to, let me see how I can get my green card, and he's not doing it.
it's so
But I don't
I
know.
do give lawyers like I share because a lot of people here share their bad experience about a lawyer, but the thing is like most lawyers don't know about mandamus lawsuit. So if your lawyer doesn't talk about it, it's because they don't know. This is not something we learn in
Well,
law
maybe
school.
when he's looking online, maybe
Uh-huh.
he's seen that the time is not reached yet for an
Yeah.
inquiry for the case.
Yeah, so that's why I connect network with other lawyers. I try to meet people even virtually to say, hey, if you have your client's case takes X months minimum, we're happy to help with a mandamus lawsuit. So I mean,
This is how much months now? It's 18 months?
yeah, it's a long time. So I
Because
would.
August to August last year was 12, and then
Mhm.
this is August. This is going on to April soon.
Yeah, so I'm sure on my YouTube I can share it.
About 20 months now, right?
No, it says 14 months actually. For
14
Queens,
months?
New York, 485. And you did mention, by the way, that your case, you said your documents sent to your lawyer's office. It could still get sent to you also. If
Yeah, my husband.
okay,
he
so
got-
yeah,
we get letters by my
okay,
husband.
good. So yeah, your case is
I
based
got
out of
it.
Queens
They
then.
sent to him and sent to us.
So your case
But
is
I preferred all the important stuff to go there, and I'll go pick it up.
like the official copy. Yeah,
Like,
we have that
yeah.
with it for our clients
Like
sometimes.
the
So
green card and stuff.
yeah,
Or
so
when
yeah,
I get my work permit, he went to his office and I went and picked it up.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
mean,
don't.
so you don't see a problem in traveling.
No, no traveling, but your case is for you, but your case take 18 months. So you might want to chat with us, schedule a meeting to talk about your next options. That's stronger than just calling or submit inquiry. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Because I call the 1-800 number to if I can get to speak to someone in there, and then they never answer you. And I was gonna email them.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna send them an on my account, my USCIS account. I was gonna send them a message.
Oh, okay. Well, that's likely not going to work. You can try. I'm not saying don't try, but to give you realistic, you said you followed our channel for a while on my live shows. I appreciate it, but things like that likely don't result to something that you want.
Okay.
Even if they respond to you in 30 days, they might just say conducting background check or actively being reviewed, but nothing's happening, right? So, how about this? So, for anyone, including you, sorry, what's your first name? If you don't mind sharing.
I don't want to see.
Okay, all right, letter N. So, letter N, or anyone else that we talked about, send me a DM if you want to keep yourself accountable. So, for letter N, you can tell me in a direct message when you filed the case. You filed it August 2023. Okay,
Yeah.
so let that serve as a reminder to contact us
That's
again.
when they receive it.
So this, when you DM us, is a reminder to you to contact us, because most people, they join a live show, they're like, and they call in on my office, they're like, oh, you know what, John shared some information. I should have contacted him 6 months ago, and here I am still waiting. You know what I mean? So send us a DM or schedule a meeting, and so you can get going on the next step.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, letter N. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. You can if you had been if you haven't, if you couldn't tell already, it is probably more productive for y'all to join the live show. I can only, I think I mentioned Doodle's next, and then Bailey, and then user 513. That's the last three. I'm sorry for today. It's already been 90 minutes. My team is like waiting for me to get in a meeting. So I really appreciate everyone's questions. But if you just try to join the live show and you won't be able to because I'm limited to 3 more people, go ahead and follow if you haven't. Okay, we greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and follow and click the bell for future notifications. Yes, this is my number. I think some people told me the letter 8 was cut off. So 832 is the area code. Let's see. Okay, Arturo, and then Bailey. Hello, Arturo. You still there? Maybe. I think it's muted. Do I do consults? Yeah, I do strategy sessions. Hey, what's going on, Arturo?
Hey, what's going on?
Thanks for your
Can you
patience.
hear me?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Well, the reason I'm calling is because I filed for the K1 base. I think it's called the I-27, I think, maybe. What is
Yeah,
it called?
I-129F. Mm-hmm.
I-129, yes, thank you. That was in 2019.
Okay.
But after I met my fiance and everything, it was a year later that I went ahead and submitted the forms that I needed to do. I submitted the forms and it has been approved in 21. And it's telling me that I checked online and put my WAC number on there and everything. And it's saying that, you know, it's approved. It's been approved because I got 2 letters from them.
Okay.
And every time I get online and I submit this, they always tell me, check your mail, check your email. We'll let you know something in 30 days. I submitted about 4 different requests and heard not nothing. They sent her a letter. She's in the Dominican Republic, matter of fact. And they sent her a letter telling her that she's going to go in for an interview. And that's been almost a year and a half, close to 2 years. I'm just wondering, I mean, what is the held up on it? What's holding up? And I'm getting tired of waiting. So
yeah, I bet she's waiting too. Tired of waiting too.
Maybe faster if I just go ahead and go down there, get married. Is it a penalty or anything because I've been waiting for so long?
No.
But how long would the process take? Because when I did the I-29, they told me it's between 3 to 8 months. And it's been almost, going on 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like something's missing here. So not saying doesn't sound like you did anything wrong. Okay. I'm sure you've done your research, but if you like, so these are one of the scenarios that like, when I mentioned for people to write in the word help is these like limited scenarios that maybe we could just check it for you, see if there's anything wrong, or maybe it's just that maybe in that country, Dominican Republic, they're just really slow. There are some countries like that, but that sounds really, really slow. 3 to 4 years, something seems wrong. So
I have a letter from them, 2 letters, as a matter of fact, everything's good. And every time I submit it, I do this and that, and I'm just wondering maybe if I have to, you know, maybe
yeah. So yeah. And are you in Houston?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Me too.
Actually in Baytown.
Okay. That's not too far compared to other people on the channel. So, yeah, I mean, let's take a look at it. If you don't mind, schedule a meeting, at least maybe the one that's this amount. Okay. Or you can go straight to a attorney strategy session, because ultimately one option so that instead of you having to get married and then file another application, because that's going to take more time. That's going to be at least another year, right? Minimum.
Right.
So let's maybe consider file a mandamus lawsuit. It just sounds like, I hate this, it's just stuck, unfortunately. And that's what it sounds like. But let's review it and then we'll
decide. I want to see if I can push that case. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to go ahead and go with, plan B. And just get over.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. The plan B, you both are willing to get married, but let's try to go plan A first. Okay.
So I guess I'll call your number then and have them set up an appointment, and when I
call in. You can call in. It's an 832 number. The number 8 is cut off, or you can click one of the links, whatever's easier. And
available Mondays?
We should be. Today's Monday, but my team will tell you if my schedule or
The
my.
only day off that I have is Monday.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll make time. Usually, if I can meet someone in the morning, is
Right,
more
perfect.
ideal. Between
All right,
9
well,
and
appreciate it,
1 or
Mr.
something.
Jones.
All right, thank you, Toto. Thanks for your patience.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
Well, I know Arturo's been on the list for a while, and I really appreciate y'all's patience. I know it's tough waiting. I'm just trying to. I know YouTube, TikTok, y'all's question. Y'all have a quick question. I have a longer response, so I will. Okay, next person is Bailey. Hi, Bailey.
Hello. So just my quick question was, if it's possible, for someone that's wanting to do marriage-based green card to do the adjustment of status with an ESTA, like if they're already in the United States, if you do the I-130, and I guess it would be the I-485, if that's possible to do.
Yes, in general you can with the ESTA entry.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that was my only question. I really appreciate your time.
Sure. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. You as well.
Follow for more. And then, so by the way, like Bailey or other people in this similar question with a similar question of ESTA, if anyone's wondering, ESTA is like the visa waiver, meaning you don't actually have to have the visa in your passport, but it is still an application process if your country is as a treaty essentially on the list to get the ESTA into America. For America, by the way, purpose of entering America. So that information right there, I want y'all to know I'm not just throwing stuff out there and let's see if it sticks. And that is on the USCIS website in the policy manual. So if anyone is ever like, well, John, show me the receipts, show me the proof, email us. I'm always happy to share. Okay. Now, of course, there are some things that are difficult to share because it doesn't exist like in the policy manual, but it is part of law somehow through regulation. Otherwise, some things might be difficult to share. Maybe it's just more experience. But anytime we can share something with you, show you the receipts, we love to do that. Okay. We want to make sure that you are comfortable 100% in the pathway that you select. Okay. So last person for today is user 513 for the afternoon live show. What's going on, user?
Hello.
How can I help you?
I have a question. I am wanting to apply for my citizenship. I've had my green card for years, and to be honest, I don't even know it's a good time to do my citizenship. I'm wanting to apply. But when I was a teenager, like 13 or 14, I got 2 citations that I have no record of. Like, I don't even, like, I know I did community service on one, but like, I don't even know where to begin to look for it. Another citation I got was when I was 14, I got selling without a permit. I was selling candy and I didn't have a permit, so I got a citation for that. And I thought it was taken care of because, like I said, it was 13 or 14 years old. But then when I was 21, I got a misdemeanor charge, and they were going to write me a citation, but because I wasn't aware that I had a warrant for when I was got a ticket for not having a license to sell. I had a warrant, so they ended up taking me in, and so I had an arrest warrant because it was just like a misdemeanor charge, but I got an arrest warrant. So I went down to the courthouse to try to get any information. Like I went to the misdemeanor records, and then I went to felon records and no felon records, which I knew that, but they couldn't find anything on my arrest charge. And I know I got arrested. So I don't know what to do. Should I hire an attorney? Like, to me, it seems pretty, like, I think I can navigate the application myself, but since I don't know where these cases are, like, how do I even find out, like, whatever came about them?
Yeah, so most municipalities, cities basically, or towns, they only keep records for a limited number of years, like 5 years or something. So one other way is to submit your fingerprints to the FBI background check, and maybe something will pop up there. But then again,
I thought about that, but I know when I got detained and I got arrested, like, they didn't even take fingerprints.
Well, they didn't take fingerprints. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
so I know, and this happened, like, I'm gonna be 45. This, when I got arrested was when I was 21.
yeah. So what happened to that situation when you were 21? Did they get resolved?
Well, yeah, I think it did. I think I did. I mean, because I've been pulled over and
Uh-huh.
got into just traffic tickets.
Mhm.
And I think it was like, don't get in trouble for 6 months and it'll be
Mhm.
dismissed.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So I
And then I'm
mean,
like, well, I've done it I've been here so long just with permanent residents. Like,
yeah.
really done.
Well, the thing
Where's
is,
the
like,
crime to
I
do?
think you mentioned those two situations even when you were 21, now you're 45. That was clearly more than 5 years ago. So we would, for us, for our class, we wouldn't provide records from more than 5 years ago. And the reason five, the number five, is because of good moral character period. They look back 5 years, but past that time, if they want to bring it up, they can bring them and ask you about it. Then you tell them. So that's why it's good to still submit something. Like if you file a formal paper request or online request to that town or that county, then at least you can bring that proof and say, hey, they sent me an email. They have some kind of receipt to say, hey, they didn't have anything, right? Because you don't want to go into the interview, although they likely won't ask you about it, but in that 1% that do ask you about it, you can have it in your little folder and say like, oh, I did try, actually, I did try, but here's what happened if you want to know, basically. Okay.
So, and would you recommend that I hire an attorney for this, or like I know you're probably gonna say, oh, of course, but
Well,
realistically, is it something?
no, I don't think you need to. I mean, this is I'm different than most lawyers, but yeah, in 2025 and beyond, because of Trump, of course, in general, I do recommend people hire a lawyer because really, I've heard so many stories. People really F it up. So
And I said to myself, maybe this is a bad time. Maybe I should wait. What's another 4 more years?
well, I mean, I know I thought that too. Like, what would a client think or in that situation? But now at customs airport, people, if you're traveling, if you're an avid traveler, then maybe it might be a good idea to become a citizen. But naturalization, as long as your past history, it sounds like it's been more than 5 years. I think my math is correct on that. Then I would go ahead and I was.
I mean, I've gotten the last traffic ticket was probably 10 years ago.
Then I would go ahead and just file. You could do it online. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
For N400. So yeah, come back channel. Let me know how it goes. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if like I said, I've held off this long. I don't know if I should even do it, or should wait. But okay, no, I definitely will let you know how.
Okay.
Goes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Follow for more, user. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your questions. I know some of y'all just popped in recently. Thank you so much to. I'm gonna pin this comment. This makes me feel good because I just spent almost 2 hours on the live show. Let me see if I can screenshot this. Can I do that so I can share my team? Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so Annabelle, thank you so much for your comment. That makes me feel good. Okay, thank you so much for the live. We're almost at 20,000 hearts on TikTok. Hey, I do see some y'all on YouTube, so stay tuned. I will answer your questions. My team member is gonna hate me for waiting, keeping her waiting. Keep her waiting. To all immigration attorneys that you've seen on here on TikTok, you salute Attorney JT because looks so humble, kind. I mean, what, and I appreciate that. Regardless how I look today, sometimes I do the TikTok filter to get rid of my little, my marks on here. Have a really clean face. But look, at the end of the day, you got to check out the Google reviews. If you're looking to consider hire an attorney, might not be us, but we're happy to consider. It'd be our pleasure here at Green Card Guys. But whoever you're going to hire, whether it's your plumber, whether it's an attorney, whether it's immigration or something else, you guys already spend so much. It's not just you, it's us too. It's me too. When I'm going like, hey, honey, where are you going to go for a restaurant? Where do you want to go eat? One of us is going to look at the Google reviews, right? You should do the same thing when you even schedule a meeting with an attorney, okay? You should look at the reviews because that's a really good indication if you're hiring not just a legit person, professional, but if they really care about customer service. You know, I'm gonna be honest, we can't please everyone. Everyone has a different personality, or maybe how someone that expects us to act a certain way. Like, you know, we have block schedule. We can't just like pick up the phone and call you just because someone wants the phone call. That's not how it works. Like, we have scheduled timing. We do provide a link that you can self-schedule meeting. We don't gatekeep that. All right. So thank you so much. I know there's a couple people y'all on the guest list, but user 53 or 52 was the last person for today. I do see some question on YouTube. I'm gonna get to y'all. Sorry, I've been spending more time on TikTok, but I realize. Okay, Maria, if you're still on, that was an hour ago. Okay. Do I know how long the waiting to receive the work permit after the bona fide letter? Maybe it's you applied work permit last month. Okay, it's only a month, so it might take 6 months to a year if you're referring to a U visa case. Now we go to Yamodite or Yamodi. Your family just got 221G refusal for EB1A. How do you get out of this? It's really devastating. It's been happening for a lot of EB1A, a lot of EBs in general, getting visa refusal abroad. So if you're wondering what 221G is, it means for some person who is abroad, if you have waiting for interview abroad, whether it's family based, employment based, even though USCIS approved your petition, you wait all this freaking time. The very last step is getting that daggum visa. And the officer, even if you had whether it's 5-minute interview, 10-minute, 15-minute, you're like, well, that seemed like such a simple thing. And then afterwards, you go home, you check your email, and you check the online status, and they just slap on their visa refusal, or they email you saying they need more documentation. You fill out DS 5535. You're like, WTF? What just happened? Seriously, that happens to a lot of people. So here's the action plan. We typically the earliest we can file a lawsuit that we've seen to be the earliest possible scenario is 6 months after the interview. I know no one wants to wait 6 months. I get it, but minimum 6 months, okay? Because we file too early, then U.S. attorney will say automatically, they say like they're gonna file a motion to dismiss. So I don't want to waste your money, even if it's a court fee, okay? All right, the G on YouTube. How many days does it take to get a green card after submitting your 693? So it's not just 693. Maybe you got the RFE. Is that what happened? I know you're not happy about that. I didn't even know you could do emojis on YouTube. So assuming you got like an RFE on that, asking for medical exam, there have been people on the channel here at Green Card Guys community have shared like it's taken them 6 months, something like that. So it's more about the timeline after the receipt date of the 485. So if it's minimum 15 months, definitely contact us, and we'll chat with you to see if like it's appropriate to file a mandamus lawsuit after minimum 15 months from the receipt date. Okay, regardless of when you submitted the RFE. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone's trust to ask a question. Again, if you are still too shy to ask a question, don't worry. You can still follow. I'm not going to tell you not to follow. You know it. So on your respective channel, go ahead and follow. And you can go to our website, greencardguys.com, and download a complimentary guide. Okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. And y'all have a good one. Okay, I got to go to my team meeting so they don't me. Okay.